Hey guys, Jay here. Welcome to Models Memories Weekly, episode 146. Models Memories is a show about nothing and is filmed in front of a live studio audience. This is a show where we're talking about painting, modeling, and working experiences from the week. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Jay, you put out 3 reviews a week. How could I possibly have more to say? Well, I do, and here goes. This week, Games Workshop showed off Miniature of the Year. They also showed off a new TOA Lady, and Kill Team might possibly be getting Terminators. But first, Miniature of the Year 2023. Looking back through this year of Games Workshop releases, it was really hard to pick what was the best thing ever. I think I voted for Von Ryan's Liqerise because they just look really, really good. They're not the most magical or amazing model. Usually the biggest, most parts, most expensive models tend to win, but the Von Ryan Liqerise just make me feel like the Velociraptors from Jurassic Park, so that's what I voted for. Not even an option. It was not even close. I don't think any individual units even made it into the top runnings for Best Miniature of the Year. Ooh, and there was that Harbinger of Decay, the new Nurgle model. That's gonna be the only thing in the Golden Demon case next year at Adepticon, or this year at Adepticon 2024. Oh, that's coming up quick. I have so many models to paint for it. But Games Workshop has decided, the voting has ended, and I guess we the viewers have gotten to pick Miniature of the Year, although I always wonder if Games Workshop fudges it, because we all remember the whole Crab fiasco. Crab definitely won, but then they're we can't let Crab win, so they made it Be'lakor was the overall winner, but pretty sure it was Crab. And this year it is Lionel Johnson, the Lion. It's a very, very good model, a very cool character, an interesting promise of things to come because presumably a bunch of the Primarchs are going to come back. A new Primarch, Corvid Corax, with his new spooky warp powers would be really, really cool. There's certainly nothing wrong with the Lion. I think he's a very good pick. I haven't seen him really blow up online, which is a little bit surprising. I mean, there's so many perfectly painted rowboat girly mans in Reboot Gilliman. There's already some Harbingers of Decay out there. It just doesn't seem like the Lion has captured the hearts and minds of people like I thought he might. And he is a little bit more of a lone wolf. In fact, I think he does actually have Lone Operative in his rule set for the Dark Angels. He's a very, very cool miniature. Is he Miniature of the Year? It seems like when I saw on Facebook when it got announced, tons and tons of people were saying it was Angron. And you know what? I don't know if I love Angron either. He's a little bit of an angry bowling ball, which is arguably what he is. The lore of Angron is so tragic and interesting. It is really sad to see him just turned into a fairly generic bloodthirster. Although, I guess that leans into the tragedy of the traitor Primarchs and how they were once great noble men and now have transformed into just warp shenanigan demons, so it all kind of fits. I think either of them would have been a good pick. It's so hard. It's almost like when you're looking at the Golden Demons, once Games Workshop has shown them off on their websites, because when you're there in person and you see the miniatures, sometimes you see these little models that are impeccable, absolutely perfect, but it's hard not to look at the Knights and the Titans and the larger figures and the Age of Sigmar large model category and not just be taken in by their scale and how impressive they are. So it's hard to say. I think they're the same. They're the same model, I think. Angron and the Lion, they're both super solid B pluses. They're both really, really good. I think if I was in the Games Workshop meeting room, I might give it to Angron. He does seem a little bit more impressive than Lionel Johnson. I'd have to see someone really good paint them both, and then I'd be able to decide, what can be done with these miniatures? Because some minis just paint up good. And so which one of these minis just paints up really, really good? Because I almost bet it's the Lion compared to Angron, or Angry Ron, and his little arm hair. He's so weird. I don't know, both these models. For me, it was Von Ryan Liqerise. Let me know in the comments below what your guys' Miniature of the Year was for 2023. What a weird competition. I mean, it's just marketing for Games Workshop. It's just kind of fun and cute to pick miniature of the year. And I wonder what it'll be next year. But speaking of next year, I think Games Workshop has already shown off Miniature of the Year 2024 in the Celebration minis, the store birthday minis for the Warhammer stores. First, we got a pretty average Fire Slayer. This is always how it works. There's always one model that's amazing, and one model that you can barely tell is different from the regular model that exists of it. The Fire Slayer is fine. I like the Fire Slayers a lot more now that they got their Warcry team, because the Warcry team looks really, really good. And the regular old naked diaper baby dwarves look... Well, let's just talk about the Tau. Tau Biddy. Games Workshop leaning into the Tau fan base. We got just a Tau Lady. I feel like Tau have not been getting simped over very hard for the past few years, especially since the death of 1D4chan. But also, they just haven't really gotten any models in years and years. I guess Farsight, but that's just one model, and it's a reimagining, or not even a reimagining, it's just a redoing of the old Commander Farsight. This little Tau Lady is such a weird departure from Games Workshop. She just got some Tau robes on and a little pot of something. I guess it can be earth, wind, fire, or water, which is really, really fun. And it's like a separate piece that you can just plug and play. You got her little staff with the symbols of the different Tau castes on it. It's a very interesting model. I think this is a really good pick for store birthday. I love things that are not going to be must-haves. They're not like named characters or things you need for your army, but are really nice to haves. If you're a Tau player, you're gonna want Tau Biddy. You're just gonna want it. I want it, and I don't even have a Tau army. This model is fantastic. I love Games Workshop leaning in to the Tau weeb fan base. It's really, really fun. In the article, it says that she's standing on a ruined Aquila. I don't know if I see it. Maybe there's too many grass tufts in the way, but it really looks like a rock. So I don't know if there was a little bit of some miscommunication between the marketing department and the model making department, or if maybe that is an Aquila somehow. But man, this is a really fun model. I hope Tau gets some new stuff. The Tau index rules, they're fine. They're pretty darn good. A lot of shooting. Crute kind of suck. It would be nice for them to have some more things, just to have some more viable play options. I want close combat Sutravora Tau, or not Sutravora, Viorla. Viorla is the hyper aggressive Tau. They're the white and red Tau that looks really, really good. So I would love the Tau to get a little bit more love. I wonder if this is a hint towards that, because we're getting a Tau for model, like birthday model this year. It'll be interesting to see the Tau get some new stuff. I mean, they teased Crute. In the little teaser video, they teased some Crute riders. So maybe the Tau are gonna get a little something something this year. And I mean, they already got a little something something in this Tau Lady. The Fire Slayer is fine, but the Tau absolutely steals the show. It looks like such a fun model to paint. It's just robes. Robes are always really, really fun to paint. And Games Workshop has been on a kick of just magical ladies. They did Lady on a Horse. They revamped the, what is it? Like the lady with the giant, way too thick spear for Old World. Like it's a good year for ladies in robes from Games Workshop. So everybody, you screenshot this post, Model of the Year 2024, Tau Lady. But speaking of other interesting things on this page, store anniversary extras. If you spend a dumb amount of money, you can get stuff. And it's all whatever. It's super cheap stuff from China. Don't try to get any of these objects. The backpack is super generic. The dice tray doesn't even look particularly square. The pins are fine. I like enamel pins. But the really interesting thing is the measuring tool. A kill team measuring tool, our favorite thing in the world. I think we've all kind of forgotten about it, but triangle, square, pentagon is 1 inch, 2 inch, or 1 inch, 3 inch, 6 inch. It's hilariously dumb to have your game based in inches and then kind of weirdly try to change your game into shapes to determine distance. But there's a Terminator on there. And I am hoping against hope that we get Terminators in Kill Team. It's something that we've been begging for forever and a day, but I can't imagine it's gonna happen. It would be kind of lame for Kill Team Season 3 to start out with Space Marine Scouts and then move on to Space Marine Terminators and just have half the year be Space Marine releases for Kill Team. But people want Terminators. I want Terminators. I want Space Hulk. Terminators versus Gene Stealers, or maybe even Terminators versus Gene Stealers and Warriors, because that's what I would like to run in Kill Team. It seems like a really, really cool thing out of the index. Maybe it is just a measuring stick and they just grabbed some art of Terminators off of someone's hard drive. That's probably what happened, or maybe this is some leftover inventory from Leviathan. That's probably way, way more likely than Terminators coming to Kill Team. But Blood Angel Terminators are from Space Hulk, and Games Workshop has not released Assault Terminators for Primarisified yet, and I want them. I want them desperately. I got 20 of the new Terminators. I love them so much, and if they brought out Assault Terminators, I would get 20 more. I need them for my first company, the Veterans of the Crusade. Let me know in the comments below, am I just wishlisting and hoping against hope, or could this actually mean something? A Kill Team measuring tool with a Terminator on it. I don't know, I could go either way, but I probably am just wishlisting. And speaking of things that fill me with joy, I finished my Queen Amadala. One of my favorite miniatures. I love this gal from Phantom Menace, my favorite Star Wars movie. And so I finished her up. Fantastic, one of my favorite minis that I painted of all time. Everything worked out perfectly. And so I started working on Sabe, and I can't get her face to look good. I don't know what I did or what magical, what was going on that day that I could really just pull off her face. But I tried again on Sabe, and there is 100 layers of paint on that face. I tried so hard to get something going, and I've almost got it. I've almost even got a little smirk on her face, but it's a little crunchy from so many layers of paint, and it doesn't quite look good, but her face is smaller than the little handle on a pin. It's so hard. I just don't get how I nailed it on Padme, and I can't get it to work on Sabe. And I feel like I should probably just take some isopropyl alcohol, wipe the face off, and try again. But it's pretty good. I'm 70% pleased with it, but I'm 100% pleased with this. So I almost want to buy another box just to paint up another Sabe to see if I can do a better job, but have the safety of this one in my back pocket. This is probably ridiculousness. Nobody else cares about these minis but me. Nobody else is gonna buy the Queen Amadala set except for me. But it's my favorite thing. I love Phantom Menace. I studied costume design in college. I like big fancy costumes. So I like these minis a lot. But yeah, there's something about faces. I need to paint 100 more just to get a little bit better at painting faces so because I want to be able to pull off what I want to pull off. I wanted a little smirk on that face, and it's okay. It's okay, but I want it to be better than it's okay. And you know what is way better than it's okay? That's right, our Patreon. Over there, we have new terrain sets every single month, and this month we have the Crashed Spaceship. If you want super thematic terrain that tells a story, and that story is basically episode 3 when Anakin crashes the spaceship, this is the way to do it. And if you always want to be up to date on the goings on here at Eons of Battle and be entered into our monthly giveaways, this month we're picking 3 followers to receive this month's terrain. You can follow the link in the description below to sign up to our newsletter. It was a really fun week of wargaming. I spent way too long on Sabe's face. I probably have 3 hours poured into that face, which is also why I don't want to just rub it off with alcohol, but I might just buy another set and try again. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching.